Happy Friday. Hey, Shalina. Nadine, well, I gotta catch up, 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 gotta catch up. Hey, Lou Phelps is in the house. Eagles landed. Miss Andrew Brown, Jeanette, Elena, good evening. Barbara Pickney, good evening to you. Cynthia, Aisha, thank you. Dana, Barbara, Donna, Debbie, Shara, Michael, thank you, Michael. Condolita, thank you so much. Hey, Shauna, Vicky, hello, my neighbor, Patricia. Hey, Brenda, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. A. Hall Houston, good to see you. Hey, Hillary, Denise, Janine, hello. Hey, Peter, Lorena, Tamika Grinder, good to see you. Lamara, Jason, that's right. Thank you, Jason, for pointing that out. Carol Ann, Latasha, I am doing well. Carol Ann, Lenora, let me see. I'm trying to keep up. Y'all are typing a little too fast for me to keep up. It's a little difficult for me to keep up. Let me see if I can keep up. Find a way to keep up. Uh, Let me get back to seeing all of you. Cynthia, hello. Molly Lieberman, thank you. Sandra, Joan, hello. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. We are, albeit honored to have you um, being with us today. Tasha, hello. Sandra, Joan, hello. Thank you. Let me turn this down a little bit more. Karina and Cheryl, hello. Patricia, it's good to be seen. It's good to see you as well. Uh, Cynthia, I have not, but I'll look. Leah, hello. Derek, we'll talk about that in a minute. Um, Yvette, good to see you. Joan, hello. As well, let me see. Try to see if I miss anybody. Diane, Grace, good to see you. And Jamie, I said happy Friday to you as well. Trying not to miss anybody. Maquila, Lorena, I'm going to bless you with a second term. I'm trying to get out of this first term. Princess, that's all I'm going to say, Princess. Deborah, good to see you. Paula, thank you. Happy weekend. And that's right. Our name of our Savior. Thank you. Kim, thank you as well. Gloria, thank you. Desmond, good to see you. Marquilla, thank you. Freddie, thank you. Miss Flo, good evening. Sheila, you're not feeling well, but I'm glad you're here with us. Hopefully we can make you feel better. William, hello. Dennis, hello. Leah, thank you. April, hello. Cynthia, you have the same name as my mother, so I love your name, Cynthia Johnson. Jorge, thank you. Patricia, good to see you. Let's see, who else? Who else did I not get? Let's see. I'm trying to get you. Tasha, am I coming to the Robbins home? I'll tell you about that in a minute. Ann, hello. Dennis, hello. Joe, I'm doing well. Tasha, hello. Edie, we'll talk a little bit about that. Renee, thank you for joining us. Ann, thank you. Tammy, hello. Ben, hello. Linda, thank you for checking in with us. Kim, hello as well. We're just glad to have all of you. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Jorge, we'll leave that alone. Dennis, Ann, hello. Candy, good to see you, Candy. Tanshay, good evening to you. Hey, from Chicago, Miss Ware, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Patricia, thank you. I don't know who your mayor is, but thank you. Miss Joyce, good to see you. Barbara, hello. E. Joyce Parrish, thank you. Angela, not a late start. We're just a little bit late. Adrian, hello. Victoria, hello. Hey, Ben, have a safe weekend as well. Hilla, thank you. Glenda, thank you. Sharon, greetings to you. Gina, good to see you, Gina. Deborah, Deborah, I was on last Friday. Where were you last Friday? I was on. Diana, hello. Chrissy, hello. Ernestine, Hello, Tiffany. Hello, Kavita. Good evening to you. Uh, Georgia, I am still here. Aisha, thank you for joining us. Um, Rebecca, hello, Stacy and Sandra, um, Tashana Butler. How's Tiffany doing and Sherry? Let me know how they're doing. Sarah, hello. Faye, thank you so much as well. Ivania, thank you for joining us. Julie as well. Um, Katina, thank you. Aileen, you sent me a text. I know. I sent you a text back. Adrian, all the way from Jacksonville, thank you. Stacy, thank you for joining us. Oh, Deborah, that is a secret. I can't tell right now, but I was in the airport. Michael, hello. Um, let's see. Hey, Barbara Dolores, thank you so much. Tracy, hello. Um, yeah, Angela, yeah, that we need to call the state. Hey, Liza, good to see you. Michael, I think you've been drinking. Patricia, thank you. Yeah, Brenda, we're still here. Dr. Uh, Priscilla Williams, thank you. Kim, hello. Catalina, hey, I owe you an email, but I did get it. So I will get it to you. It's just been a little challenging right now. Hey, Marsha and Bruce, the Liebermans are here. Harry, thank you so much. Cardella, thank you for joining us as well. It is Friday. Somebody say, thank God it is Friday. Because it is Friday, that meant that through the grace of the good Lord, we have made it through yet another week. Lynette, Angel, hello. Denise, good evening to you. Diane, hello. Trinity, thank you for joining us. As I said, Lynette, I think I got everybody here. Hey, Clint Middleton, I saw that looked like a baby picture of you. Sarah, thank God it is Friday. That's right. Sheila, we made it. Mary, Ann, thank you. Happy Friday to you too. Mary, thank you so much. Washington State, thank you for joining us. Robin from Kansas City, Rockin' Robin, good to see you. Pamela from Midway, thank you, Pamela, for joining us as well. Tracy, thank you for joining us. Georgia and Julia, thank you. Angela wants to know, did I share where I was last week? No, I did not. I wasn't home, but no, I was with you. It was date night. We were together. Barbara, thank you as well. Katrina, Liza, thank you. And Tracy says Florida is in the house. So let's go ahead. Hey, Andrea, good to see you. I'm just trying to get my my other video up because I'm usually doing it because I'm doing it by myself. I'm trying to keep up with everything. Ms. Hilda, thank you so much. I'm trying the best I can, doing the best we can with what we got. So we want to thank you so much. Hey, Carol, we should have been in contact with you already. So I hope that we are as well. Marlena, hey to you. Paige, hey, Paige. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you coming out. Lucille, hey, Miss Lucille. And Elder Erica and Maya Giovanni. Thank you all so much. And thank you, Elder Erica, Pastor Candace, for the work that you've done this week, particularly as it relates to the Transgender Day of Remembrance. I think everybody's coming here to hear. Lamara, we will talk a little bit about that as well. We'll talk a little bit about that. So here we go. Y'all ready? Let's roll. It's Friday. If it's Friday in Savannah, if it's Friday in Savannah during a pandemic, if it's Friday during Savannah, hey, Sade, Friday in Savannah during a pandemic, if it's Friday during Savannah during the pandemic and you have nowhere that you have to be, if it's Friday during the pandemic in Savannah and you have nowhere you have to be and you're keeping the faith and following the science, if it's Friday in Savannah during the pandemic and you don't have anywhere that you have to be and you're keeping the faith and following the science, then you are with me. It is our date night, Friday night, date night. And we are so glad that you're with us. It's called Friday Night Live. Joycette, yes, you are late. Go stand in the corner for a minute until we get finished. Cortina, thank you. Joanne, thank you for joining us. It is Friday Night Live. Rebecca, yes, thank you. Francis, hello, thank you for joining us. Elise, as y'all do every week. Janet Thomas, thank you for watching. We know how we do, so please, if you have not liked this page, go ahead and like the page. Go ahead and like it. If you can share the video, Liza, hey, Liza, go ahead and share the video as well. You know, for us, the more the merrier on our Friday Night Live. Again, so glad that you're here. And if we're here, it means that we've made it yet another week. So I'm grateful for that. And as we get into Thanksgiving, and boy, what a Thanksgiving it has been. And I want to tell you now, and let's be very clear. Hey, Miss Sadie, good to see you. And Kat and Sheila, let's be very clear about where we are. And I'm asking you, please. And this is, you know, again, this is for all of us, because you all know I love my mom and daddy, but I love them enough to stay away from them. I have to stay away from them. Marjorie, call my assistant. Let's get it on the calendar. Ariel, hello. But you know, let please. And I mean, I know that you all are saying that, you know, hey, Pinky, hey, the Honorable Vicki Nelson from Hinesville, thank you for joining us. Again, we know very clearly, and I mean, people gonna do what they want to do, but I mean, when you look at where our numbers are, we know that our numbers are still unacceptably high. Savannah has been relatively blessed. We have surpassed 10,000 cases. We have surpassed 200 deaths. Kat, if you want to get together on Facebook, we can. We can do that. But you know, the reality is don't let your latest visit to your parents and your loved ones be your last visit to your parents and your loved ones. And again, I know it's hard. I mean, it's hard for me, but you know, for me, it is, do I love them enough to stay away from them? That's the question. And I mean, some of y'all are saying, well, I'll just have this one over, that one over. If they don't live with you, I mean, I don't care how well you know them. I mean, you don't want to have a situation, hey, Brother Michael, happy Thanksgiving to you. You don't want to have a situation where, you know, one little super spreader, one little kid comes in there and affects the whole household and 2 or 3 people die from it. You don't want to have that situation to occur. And I mean, I know that it's weighing hard on you all, but you would never want to be in a situation where you wish you had done something differently. And I'm just saying, Jorge, thank you for doing that. But I mean, but that's the truth. I mean, you know, people coming home and doing all that kind of stuff. I mean, for me, I can only speak for me. I can't do it. I just can't. Because, hey, Terry Ann, it's just too dangerous. The numbers are too high. People are cross-pollinating. And we know that the busiest travel day of the year is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And you come in and you think, oh, yeah, well, we'll just do this and we'll do that. And you leave and somebody gets coronavirus. Again, we'd rather you be 6 feet apart than 6 feet under. We would rather you exercise some patience than being a patient. And we want you to be very, very clear to do that. All right. You know, I mean, I love all of my date night folks. No, Michael, I can't cancel Thanksgiving because every day is a day of Thanksgiving. And you know what? And that's the truth. I mean, we shouldn't have to wait till the fourth Thursday in November to be show how thankful we are. Toshi, I will do that. We shouldn't have to wait until that late. I mean, we should be grateful every day. And certainly during this time, for me, I've been counting my blessings every single day. Every day is a day of Thanksgiving. And so make the hard decision. Tell your friends now or your family, and in some cases, your kids, because you don't know what kind of life they've been living out in the streets. They wear their mask around you, but all you need is one person in your place. You can wear a mask all day long, but if you're in close proximity and you're touching things and all that kind of stuff, you don't want to do it. You know what? If I'm invited to Hunter, I'm coming to Hunter though. I'm just letting you know that I'll be. If y'all having something on Hunter, y'all need to fix me a plate. I'm just saying. Um, see, Jacqueline says she loves her children, but she wants them to stay put. I agree. Do that. Um, so we'll tough it out, and life will be better later on. So that being said, so let's talk. Let's look right quick at our numbers, and then we'll talk about some other things going on. Found out Donald Trump Jr. Um, Donald Trump Jr. has COVID. I mean, and I hope he feels better, but um, you know, as much Laurie, that's right. People don't know what asymptomatic means. And as much as we want to see Laurie in Savannah, as much as Laurie is a Savannah jewel, and we would just love having her. Our city is blessed whenever she's here. Um, you know, we got to keep everybody safe. But back to, hey, Olga, you finally showed up. But the funny part about it is, it's not, well, it's not funny, but Donald Trump Jr. came here twice, wearing no mask and all this kind of stuff, and now he got COVID. I mean, a hard head leaves a soft butt, but we will pray for him. I mean, just like anybody, we don't want anybody to be safe. I mean, we want anybody to be sick. We want people to be well and get well. So we're not going to be ugly about it. But, you know, we just have to do that. Good to see the Honorable Cynthia Elaine Jenkins. She is the Mayor Pro Tem of Noonan, Georgia. So I'm glad to have Noonan, Georgia in the house. Hey, Michelle and Sharon, thank you as well. We appreciate it. So let us do the right thing. Let us do the smart thing to keep our family safe. Okay, can we do that? And yes, finally, again, no shade. We have counted the votes here in Georgia, and it is official and has been certified that Joe Biden has won the state of Georgia. It is done, and we need to move on. Okay, so we'll just, we'll move on. I mean, again, we're not spiking the ball in the end zone. You know, Joe Biden has won Georgia, and we're going to take that for what it is, and we're going to move on. And I just hope that he. Oh, Olga, yes, we understand. You could be late for that reason, particularly if you're trying to get it together. I understand, Denise, that Governor Kemp is going to sign it. I mean, he needs to. So, hopefully we won't have to recount too many times later. I just think that, personally, the President of the United States just needs to acknowledge what Hillary Clinton had to acknowledge in 2016, that the voters have spoken, the votes are in, and he did not get the amount of votes necessary to continue this. So anyway, let's look at our numbers right quick, and then we have a really special guest. We'll talk about a couple of things tonight. So wanted to share the screen just so we could talk about COVID in Georgia. And again, we are escalating, not necessarily at the rate of everybody else, but enough to be concerned about. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look at it. All right. So so far in Georgia, we have 399,410 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Georgia. This is not the flu. We have had 8,591 deaths in Georgia. We have had 33,897 hospitalizations in Georgia, with 6,300 of those being ICU admissions. And the last one here, where it says probable deaths, meaning that there are 500 of those that may have died from COVID. So we are clearly at this point very close to 400,000 confirmed cases. Well, close to 9,000 confirmed deaths here in Georgia. If we look down and go look at what we have happening in Chatham County, which is our county, and you will see here, we're already over the 10,000 mark, 10,244 confirmed cases, 200 deaths. We're sitting at 206 probables, so we're at about 206 deaths here in Chatham County. So when you look at that, that is significant. And you know, the fact is, this is still a very, very dangerous thing that's going on. So anyway, so please, and we'll talk a little bit more about Thanksgiving, but I'm hoping and praying that you all are going to make plans to do things differently this year. We want you to be safe for Friday Night Live. And so we want you to be safe. So anyway, you know, we've had upticks in crime across this community. Some of you have asked me about my thoughts about the uptick in crime. You know, people, I mean, I think it's unacceptable amounts of gun violence that we've had in our community. Very unacceptable. But we also recognize that there are a lot of things in play, particularly a criminal justice system that has been on pause for several months, a jail that has not taken people because of COVID concerns, which is understandable, and a preponderance of guns on the street. And so people are just going through with what is going on. So wanted to talk a little bit about it, and then somebody wants to talk about schools, so we can talk about schools. Hey, LaDonna Clark, good to see you. I think I'll see you tomorrow, I think. We're gonna go to the waiting room and invite my guest with us. We see a smiling face. We have with us Data Savanian, someone who has distinguished herself in the field of law. She is the chief assistant district attorney for the Eastern Judicial Circuit, which is here in Chatham County, and she oversees juvenile court. And so she deals with the juvenile court cases in our community, and that is Attorney Diane McLeod. Ms. McLeod, I see, I don't hear you. I'm looking at a picture of you. Are you with us? Ms. McLeod. Okay, while she's getting it together, she's smiling at me, but we don't hear her.
I was actually on mute. Can you hear me now?
Ms. McLeod?
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. I know I don't hear you. Ms. McLeod?
Yes.
There we go. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you this evening?
I'm good. We don't see you though.
No. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yes. McLeod?
Yes.
Are we gonna see you?
Oh, no.
I know I don't hear you. Wait a minute. Let me get my volume down.
Yes.
There we go. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Wait a minute. Wait a second. One second.
We don't see you though. No.
1 second.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, yes.
So I'm getting his, hold on a second, 1 second.
Oh, yeah. I know, wait a minute. Mr. Powell?
Yeah.
There we go. How you doing?
I'm good. How are
Wait a
you?
minute, wait a minute.
All right, so I'm in a mix of a double whammy, but I'm getting ready to get this fixed. 1 second. One second.
All right, so I'm in a mix of a double whammy.
I think I have more than, can you hear me now?
I can.
All right. I hope this works. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me.
So, and again, I'm still hearing myself and I don't understand why.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
See? Wait a minute.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
It happens
No problem. Thank you.
every now and then, in which I'm having these technical difficulties, which I can't figure out. 1 second. All right. Do you hear my echo?
I do.
You do, okay. 1 second. Is this any better?
It is.
All right. So let me get this done. Right. Okay. Here it is. All right. Now do you hear me?
I hear you very well.
Okay. Very good. Again, thank you so much for joining us. And I've been talking about, and we've been talking about as a community of the violence and of criminality occurring in our community. We've seen it with younger and younger and younger people. What's been your perspective? Obviously, the workings of the juvenile court system are confidential by nature, but I know you see some pretty interesting trends. What do you see?
Unfortunately, one of the major trends we see is poverty.
Right.
Which really is a driver when you look at what's going on with these children. You know, we can always put the best plan in place for a child. You know, make sure we have all the resources there, the services, the school, everything. We can put everything in place, but we always have to remember that they have a home or lack thereof to return to.
Right.
And so you look at what is going on in that home life, which is really driving a lot of the behavior. You know, some children, they return to actual brick and mortar homes. There's some children, their home is the hotel that they share with their mother, their step parent, and maybe 4 or 5 siblings. For some children, their home is a car, and they sleep in various parking lots at night. So, you know, you always try to do what you can do to make sure that, you know, you have the best outcomes. But the poverty issue is there. You know, you have moms who want to be there to help the children and make sure they get the services they need. But then again, moms also need to make sure that there's food on the table.
Right.
And so you have them in a catch-22 because with a lot of the crimes we see, there is a major supervision issue or again, a lack thereof, meaning that the children aren't being supervised. It definitely puts the guardian or the parent in a quandary because, of course, you have to weigh, am I going to go to work and make money to feed my family? Or am I going to stay home and watch my children to make sure they don't get in trouble? So it's really a catch-22, and it's really, you know, the affordable housing issue that we have here, um, you know, which is horrible. You know, if a family wants to get on Section 8 housing or subsidized housing, it's my understanding there's like a 3-year wait. And once you get on that list, what are you going to do in the 36 months while you're waiting for a house that you can afford to live in?
Well, but then let me play devil's advocate because there have been people who have grown up and continue to grow up, and they're poor and they don't commit crime.
And Van, I hear you. And at one time I thought that too.
Mhm.
But looking at that changes because, there are what we call generational households. Okay. And the
Mhm.
research tells us that children who grow up in what we call generational households have better outcomes. And by generational households, I mean households in which, you live with your mother, your grandparent, maybe some aunts or whatever. Because there is always a responsible adult there to live with you. I grew up in a generational household. My grandmother always lived with us. We weren't rich, but we were
Right,
always supervised because my mother went to work. And while she was at work, my grandmother made sure we did what we were supposed to do.
right.
But you don't see that as much anymore. I mean, you see a single parent pretty much on her own or his own trying to make it on their own, and you really have to realize that things are so different and there are so many um things that pull children these days that if they don't have that supervision, and it doesn't matter how rich or how poor you are, that supervision is such a key that if you don't have someone there to supervise and make sure these children are getting what they need, that they're home when they're supposed to be home, then you are going to have major issues. And so
So,
it's not that because there are other kids, but the other kids may have positive influences in their lives, people in their lives who are making sure that they're doing well. Some kids may go to church. They may have people at church who are holding them accountable.
mhm.
And so, because those positive adults are holding them accountable, making sure they're going to school, that they're doing what they're supposed to, they're having better outcomes. They're children. I mean, but if you're living in your car, the chances of you having a positive adult in your life is slim to none.
Right. So you obviously are quite busy um, in the court. Um, I think people don't recognize, the volume, the sheer volume of cases and things you deal with. Um, what are the, if there were three top types of issues you would deal with, what would they be?
There would be the burglaries, and I would tell everybody in Savannah, please lock your doors and the entering autos, lock your cars. Entering an auto really is a crime of opportunity. Kids walk down the street, pull it on door handles, pull it on door handles, and guess what? If your car is unlocked, yours is the one that's going to get popped. One thing that I've learned in the years that I've been doing this job, and even with the stolen car cases, I have never seen a child who knows how to hotwire a car. They don't know how to do it.
Right.
So they only know how to do it if they get in there and you've done something like leave your car open with the spare key in there. That's how your car gets stolen, or you go in the gas station and you leave your car running. And unfortunately, people who do this, you sometimes they have weapons in their vehicle.
Right.
They may have a weapon in their glove compartment or their console. So when people are like, where are these children getting these guns? That's where they're getting them. They're getting them from these entering and auto cases where the car is unlocked, the person did not secure the weapon in the vehicle, and they're getting them from these burglary cases.
And I've seen that. I've seen groups of young kids just kind of walking, kind of meandering, and then they see a car door and they just flip the door to try to see if the door would open.
I mean, they'll walk down the street, they'll go to parking lots. We've just seen where there have just been a rash in various parking lots in downtown Savannah, and they'll just go in a parking lot and they'll go up and down the aisle, up and down the aisle, just pulling on handles. If your door is locked, they're not going to try and make noise because they don't want to draw attention. But if your door is unlocked, there's a strong possibility that your car is going to be entered and something is going to be taken.
And like you said, these are crimes of opportunity. And unfortunately, I think people think that we still live in Mayberry or something. They say, "Oh, I'm just going in the house for a moment, or I'm
Hmm.
leaving my bag there, and it'll be okay for a moment."
Hmm.
And yet, then they're victimized.
Right.
What's the second type?
So we have those. We have the entering and autos. We have the burglaries. We have a lot of burglaries. Um, and the burglaries are not they're not confined to one specific location or one area of town. We have the burglaries all over Chatham
Are
County.
they doing home burglaries?
Home burglaries.
How
In
are they
the
generally getting in?
breaking a window.
Okay.
You know, and what they'll do, they'll walk up and down the street. And really with the burglaries, they're actually casing the houses because they'll knock on the door. What we generally see is they'll knock on the door. If someone answers, they'll say like, "Oh well, we came to see whether or not you wanted your lawn cut," but they are not going to have any lawnmower equipment.
Right.
Um, and then if you answer and you're probably going to say no, they'll leave. But if not, you know, then of course the burglary is going to occur. The one good thing I will say is that neighbors are awesome in Savannah because they do a very good job of watching and reporting when they see suspicious activity in the neighborhood.
Right.
And I would say about probably about 90% of the burglaries that we have that in which there are children detained is because you have neighbors who reported the suspicious activity. The alarm goes off in the house, and the officers are detaining people who fit the description in the neighborhood, and they generally will have something from the house on their person.
Mm. So again, to the Friday Night Live family, we need to be good neighbors. Keep your eyes open.
You
If it
have
doesn't look right, it probably is not right.
And you have to be a good neighbor. I mean, we had situations where we've actually had neighbors who've seen things on their video cameras going on at their neighbors' houses that they realized was something is amiss over there because I don't recognize these people being in my neighbor's house, and calling the police and getting actively involved. Those Ring door cameras are like the best. So if you can afford to invest in one, I would say do it because they are very good at identifying parties who are involved if your home should ever have a break-in or somebody violates your property. Those door cameras and those security cameras are excellent.
And good evidence, right?
Excellent evidence.
All right. So, and what's the third one?
So we have the burglaries, we have the entering an auto, and then we have some aggravated assaults, which happens in different ways. So people think aggravated assault, they think it's necessarily a shooting, and an aggravated assault isn't necessarily someone being shot. It can include having a gun pointed at you, having a knife pointed at you. It can be a stabbing. So aggravated assaults happen in a variety of different ways. Sometimes it's with bodily harm, sometimes it's without bodily harm. But those would probably be the ones that we see most.
Now, I mean, obviously, I've interacted with a lot of parents that after some of these things have happened, and they say they have no clue. And obviously, we have a lot of parents on our Friday night date night. What advice would you give them in terms of, um, you know, parents and parenting? I know you're a mother of two boys. I mean, what type of advice would you give them from your perspective?
Know who your children's friends are.
Mm.
I think that's the biggest thing. Know who your children's friends are. You know, we see situations where we have children who come in court and they're co-defendants, and mom has no clue who this co-defendant is because she's never seen him and she's never heard of him. But that's your child's friend who he got in trouble with. And so you have to know who they're hanging out with. And sometimes children think it's a bit intrusive, but as long as they're, you know, from my perspective, living in your home, you have to be intrusive because you're going to have to make sure they're safe. And you're going to have to make sure when they're at that vulnerable age, that 14, 15, 16-year-old age, you know, where they're being influenced, that they're not doing anything dumb. Because if something happens, you need to know who these people are.
Right.
And so I would definitely say know who their friends are. You know, my kids got upset with me because, you know, when they got phones, I low jack their phone. I put a Life 360 on their phone, so I know where they are at all times. And I was very clear with them. You turn that Life 360 off, you don't have a phone anymore.
Well, let's talk
Um,
about that because that Life 360 is a program, and essentially what it is kind of a GPS because you know at all times where their phone is. So of course, since kids are attached to their phone, you know where they are, correct?
that's exactly right. So if you have the Life 360, and it's a free app, it's
Oh,
a
it's
free
free.
app. It's absolutely free. You can download it for free, and you know all of their movements. And so, and to give you an example, so you know, my 20-year-old, he drives, and yeah, I still have it on his phone, and because I still want to know where he is because he is not old enough to make mature. He's 20 and he is an adult, but he still needs some guidance from mom from time to time. And just like I told him, in the world that we live in, I'm not trying to follow you all the time. I just need to know that you're safe. Um, but in those situations, I'll even know, and he's on my insurance, and that's the other reason, it'll tell me how fast he's going when he's driving. So
Really?
if we need to have a talk about how fast you're going when you're driving and you're about to affect my insurance rates, we have to have that conversation. So it'll tell you whether or not, so you can look at it. If they're driving, it'll tell you how fast they're going. You'll know, so that way you'll know if they're in a vehicle with somebody you didn't approve of. So if they're catching a ride after school and you know what time the bus gets home and they're getting home a little later, it can tell you when they left, what time they left, and how fast they were going.
Wow. Stacy asked how many people are probably going to be able to afford this technology. Stacy, it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
It's free.
It's called Life 360.
Yeah, I put that in the chat so everybody can see it. And so I know my mother back in the day, that was before we had cell phones, but she wasn't beyond. I come home one day and all my, I don't know, I mean, I thought she was crazy. You go in and all your drawers are tossed, your bed is tossed. And I mean, I felt like, I was in a jail cell or something. I'm like, what were you looking for? But, it was just, she wanted to know what was going on.
Right. And
Um,
sometimes I think that parents, we all think, well, they have their privacy. In my household, there was no privacy, and there is no privacy.
no, you
Um,
can't, no, as
you
long as
know,
they eating your food.
there is no privacy. So I'm subject at any time to go in your room and start searching. And if you don't like it, then of course that means you need to start looking for other places to stay. But as long as you live with me, there is no privacy, and I've made that very clear from the time they were little up until now, and they understand that. Um, and sometimes I tell them, blame it on me, blame it on my job, do whatever, but understand these are things that's going to happen as long as you're living with me.
Right.
But I think but even more important, you really have to know who these friends are, because if you know who your children's friends are, you're going to know what your children are doing, because their friends are reflective of their habits and their patterns.
Right. And it's true. And I mean, and for me, and now, I mean, I might have been a little bit upset about it then, and we'll talk about this in a moment. But, I wasn't allowed to spend the night at people's houses. If I didn't bring something in the house that they bought, I couldn't bring it into the house. I mean, you look back on it now and you're like, wow, they probably had a better handle on me than I would have recognized. But in a way, fortunately, that's helped.
And it has. I mean, I don't believe in that either. When I was growing up, my mother didn't believe in it, and raising my children, I didn't believe in it for different reasons. And the other reasons I didn't believe in it is because, as my children told their friends, my job had me crazy. And I see child molestation cases that occur when children are spending the night with their friends. In my perspective and my point of view has always been that while you may know who's at the house during the day, you don't know who's coming in the house at night.
Well,
And
and that's what I
so,
wanted to segue
and,
into.
and there's no way for you to protect your child if you leave your child at a house with people that you don't know. My children were only approved to spend the night with my two sisters because I
Right.
knew what was going on there, and they had my unconditional trust. But other than that, well, and of course my mother, but other than that, my children didn't spend the night out. If someone was having a sleepover, I would let them stay late, and I would go pick them up, but they were going to sleep in their own bed.
Right. So that's what I was going to ask you, because obviously you still deal with a fair amount of child molestation cases and things. What are your thoughts about that? I mean, how prevalent, and then particularly if it's still happening in familiar situations.
I mean, the familiar situations are always tough because those are situations that really tear a family apart. Because you have, if it's two first cousins, you have grandma in the middle. She's the grandmother of the victim. She's the grandmother of the defendant. So you have grandma in the middle. But those cases really tear family apart. It's very difficult on families because sometimes it causes family members to pick sides.
Right.
So that's very difficult. But you just really have to be careful, and you have to watch children, and you have to watch behavior, and you have to watch patterns. If you have an older cousin or an older nephew who was always wanting to play with your 5-year-old daughter, you may want to watch that because that's generally not normal. for a 16-year-old to want to play with or 13-year-old to want to play with a 5-year-old, and then they're alone in a room together. You really have to watch that if it's a family get together and the children are confined or banished to a room. Make sure that somebody is regularly going in that room checking on those children to see what's going on, because those are when these type of cases happen. When the children, at the family cookout, well, everybody is outside having fun. They told the kids to go in the room and play. Well, the kids did go in the room, but guess what? Someone got molested.
Right.
And so you really have to be careful, and make sure that when you have those type of get-togethers, and the family is getting together and they're being together, that somebody is always going in and they're checking on the children, to make sure that nothing is amiss.
Right. And I think, again, I mean, we have adults who have lived through those generational curses, so to speak. The
Right.
family didn't speak. They didn't call. They didn't tell anybody. Everybody knew that Uncle so-and-so, was a molester, but nobody said anything.
Right. And the one thing we do know, what the evidence tells us about children who offend other children, is that there is a very strong possibility that they've been molested themselves and it
Mhm.
went unchecked.
So it is more generational.
Yes.
Wow. And then finally, about the violent kids.
The
I
what
mean,
kids?
there have been
The
cases,
what kids?
violent, violent.
The violent kids. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, young 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds with guns and shooting people, gang activity. What are your thoughts and your observations regarding that here?
So most of the children, and I will tell you this, probably the the worst summer we had with children who were extremely violent was the summer of 2016.
Right.
And I think the summer of 2016, there was not a week that went by that we did not have a child who was shooting and seriously injuring someone. So we had that rash in the summer of 2016. Worked really hard to get a handle on it. And so I'm not saying that we don't have children who are not in possession of guns, but to the extent that we had that summer, we have not seen that in a very long time.
Right.
So we still know that the police are stopping children who are in possession of guns, and that's always frightening to me because, of course, you talk about the immaturity, you talk about them really not knowing how to handle a gun, and that's a dangerous combination. Um, and so we do see the children who are in possession of guns, but actually using the guns violently towards someone else. That is not something we have seen a lot of recently. And so when you see the shootings and everything, while they may be classified as teenagers, they're usually on the cusp of their 20s. So they're 18, 19 years old. They're not the 13, 14-year-old children that we heard about years ago.
Right. And so there are parents out there who see their children getting away or going down the wrong path. Obviously, status offenses you really don't deal with as much anymore. What advice would you have for parents that are listening that just might need some help?
So, I mean, one thing this is the thing that I've always saw that I always thought, we see so many missed opportunities. And I could have a child that I may have been dealing with for many years, okay? And in all the years I've dealt with the child, the only person I ever saw was the mother and that child. And then when we get to the point that, there's just nothing else we can do at this point, we have offered you everything we can. And then all of a sudden, we see about 7 or 8 people who come to court with the child asking us not to commit the child to the state. And these are people that we've never seen before.
Right.
And I always think, where were you 4 years ago when we really needed you? Because at this point right now, there's nothing else we can do. And so the resources that you would get when you get to that point that you think your child is about to spend some time being locked up, find those resources. Call your preacher. Don't be afraid, because I think they really want to help. From what I've heard from various ministers, they don't know you know, when they come to court with these children, you know, who are on the cusp of being committed to the state, you know, what they're saying is, well, she never told us.
Right.
The parents never told us. And you have to, you know, even if you don't have a natural village, meaning that you don't have a lot of family members that are close, you're going to have to create one. You're going to have to get people and tell them, you know, get them involved with your child and what's going on, so you can have that village and have somebody holding your child accountable. You know, find something that he or she likes, get them definitely involved. You know, the Front Porch recently reopened, which is the city county joint venture for family and children. If you think there are some services that may be needed, you can go there for services. But you know, I just stress getting that village together and making sure that that village is helping you make sure that your child has the best possible outcome. You know, that village may be a coworker that you introduce your child to. It could be somebody from church. It can be a teacher from school who may have an interest. But fine, if you don't have a natural village, create one to help
Right.
you allow your child to be successful.
Right. Well, a couple of quick questions. Brenda wants to know, is it a misdemeanor for a child to be in possession of a weapon or a gun?
The first time is a misdemeanor. The second time it's a felony.
Okay. And Jorge says, is there any correlation with the schools being hybrid and the increase in juvenile crime?
Well, whether schools were hybrid or not, there was always a time of day. And if you look at the research, when crimes were generally occurring, which was in the afternoon hours, which is what we are still seeing.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we have not seen, you know, a substantial increase in, let's say, the number of residential burglaries because the children are home and not going to school. So, I mean, if it is, that may be something we can, in January, we may look back and realize that that's happened. But right now, that's not something I can say that I'm definitely seeing.
Right. Um, so any closing thoughts? You know, I know you've had a busy day. Someone said it's okay or not to have school shootings. Mike, I don't know what you're talking about that, but any thoughts you have?
My only thought is pay attention as parents. Know who their friends are, and make sure that you let them know that you're in charge. You know, you are the boss, and when you have expectations, let them know what those expectations are. You know, and make sure that even if you punish, make sure that you reward as well. Because I don't think you can constantly punish without rewarding. But then again, I'm also saying don't reward bad behavior.
Right.
You know, if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, then of course they shouldn't have a $1,400 phone and the latest kicks on. That's something I never believe, because I think those are things that are earned rather than given.
I
You
never
know,
understood it.
so I mean parenting, I mean, it's practice. You know, someone was, I mean, remember someone asked me one time, you know, well, why aren't you doing XYZ? You know, and my response has already always been, I only get one opportunity to be a good parent. I may not be a perfect parent, and most of us aren't. I think we all do our best based on what we saw coming up, based on what we have read, and based on what we see. You know, it's like practicing. You know, I mean, we are practicing every day, hoping and praying that what we're doing is the right thing for our children to be successful. But don't be afraid to ask if you don't know.
Right. 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 And in the end, you know, you're not your friend. You know, that's not your kids are not your friends.
Right.
When they're grown in their own place, then you can turn around and be friends. But right now, you have a responsibility. And I think sometimes when you try to be too cool, too hip, too down with them, there was something my grandma used to say about a puppy licking you in the face, meaning they don't respect you.
Right. No, and just like I had a funny conversation with my youngest the other day, and we were talking, and he thought he was going to just get really familiar with me and call me Diane. And I told him, I
Ooh,
said, well, I will be Diane when you pay rent. But if you're not paying rent, you know, then we're equals and you can call me Diane. But if you're not paying rent, we're not equals and you can't call me Diane.
And you brought it real clear to him real quickly, right?
very quickly. But yeah, you have to let them know that you're in charge and you have expectations. Like I said, being a parent is really, I mean, you're practicing. I mean, because none of us have had children before, right? So we're having these kids, and this is, I mean, this is the first time I've had a 20-year-old. So yeah, we're practicing, trying to figure out what we can do, and hoping that we do is the right thing for our kids.
Right.
But again, don't be afraid to ask.
Right. Well, and a quick definition. People are asking about the word kicks. Kicks is slang for sneakers, tennis shoes. So,
Oh,
for those
my
of you-
apologies. I'm around kids so much. Sometimes I use their vernacular, so my apologies.
well, since you say that, what influence does music have? Music and TV have on the behavior of young people, from what you've seen?
I mean, it does, because of course you have to learn the vernacular. Um, like I said, kicks. Well, guess what? When somebody, if you are in a situation and you hear someone says they're about to do a lick, okay, you need to know what a lick is.
All right, go ahead and tell us, what's a lick?
So a lick is
Hold
that
on,
they're
one
about
second.
to.
One second. Parents, I need you to get your pen. We're gonna get 5 terms from her, so that when your kids are talking all that smack, don't think you know what you're talking about. So the first word, the definition is lick. What is a lick?
I mean, so if they said somebody did a lick or somebody was about to do a lick, that means they were about to rob somebody. And so you have to understand that, okay, so that's what lick means. He was about to rob somebody. You
Okay.
know.
So we got kicks, which are sneakers.
we have
We got
licks.
licks.
Let me
Licks mean you're
think.
gonna rob somebody.
Oh my gosh, man! It's so many, and they're just not coming to the forefront of my mind. But if the audience has it and they want, listen to the music, because the music will tell you when they start using words, they're getting it from the songs, and that's where it's coming from. And you just have to put it in the right context to understand its meaning.
And the fact is, when we were growing up, we had our own terms, but
We did.
it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Linda
not
says
the
she knows
same.
what that means. She said licks mean rob or fight.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
come on, Jenny. Come on. I mean, Diane, you have to give us a couple of more now. You done got
A
us.
few more.
We got two. We got two already. We got
Well, see,
kick. We got lick.
So I presumed that they knew what kicks
capping.
were.
Capping. They're asking about capping.
Oh, no cap. That means they're emphasizing something. So if they say no cap, they're like emphasize. It means they're not emphasizing something. So
All right. So you use that in a sentence.
Oh gosh, because then it's not gonna be.
Because Leisha says capping is lying.
So sometimes it's emphasizing, sometimes it's lying. It depends on how they're using it in a sentence.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, what about
sometimes, huh?
Drip.
Drip. Oh, you're dripping. That means you're fly. Your clothes are fly. You're looking good. When they say no drip, it means that you are looking. You are at your finest. You are wearing your finest.
Oh, like me right now.
Well, maybe when you did your press conference Tuesday. No drip.
That sounds like shade. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like shade to me. But it's true. I mean, we have to understand the vernacular, because sometimes our kids are communicating in plain sight. I mean, and we're listening and don't have a clue what they're talking about.
No, we have no clue. So I had to start listening, because they were not going to speak a secret code that I didn't understand.
So when you hear about things like sex or those types of things, how kids might characterize that?
Oh, I can't say that.
It's a bad word?
Well, most of them are.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we won't say those. Just PG, but I mean, I just think, we have to have an understanding, and maybe I need to post one about these ideas, because again, we have to know what our young people are saying. And I'm just asking our parents, don't be afraid to be parents.
No, don't be afraid. And the other thing, Van, okay, so this is the last thing I'll say
Oh,
before we go.
Netflix and chill. Somebody said Netflix and chill. I know what that means now.
Okay, but they don't even talk about that anymore.
But they
I
don't?
mean, that's kind of passe.
Okay.
They really don't talk about Netflix and chill anymore.
Okay.
But the chilling part is actually the sex, and parents really need to have honest and real conversations with their children about sex. The biggest problem I have is children not knowing the correct names of their body parts,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not good. Girls should know that they have a vagina and not a pocketbook.
Oh,
Boys
they call it a pocketbook.
boys should know that they have a penis and not a wee wee. They should, or whatever other name they're calling their body parts, but they need to know the accurate names of their body parts,
Right.
because it's always important, especially if you have a child molestation case, for them to know and understand what their body parts are. And then the other thing I would say is have an honest talk with your teenagers about sex, because they may engage,
Right.
and you need to have a talk with them about engaging in sex and being prepared for that.
Right. Right. Have a
I
serious
mean,
talk about Corona with them too.
yeah, the corona. I mean, we all want our children to be nice and pure until they get married, but unfortunately, that's not the world in which we live. And so we have to have honest conversations with our children about sex, and making sure that they are protected and they are safe.
And not putting your business out there, but tell us about the gift that you leave your sons all over the place.
I leave so many. Which ones?
The gift, the preventive gift that they might find any place.
Oh, yeah. So my 20-year-old went to college, and I sent condoms, because of course he's 20, he's going to when he started college, and I want to make sure. And I'm not saying it wasn't a free pass, but it was like, you know what, and if you don't want them, you probably got friends who can use them. But let's just be real about this. I'm not sending you there and being naive, because I went to college myself. I knew what happened at college. And so I wanted him to be understand that if you engage, I need you to be safe.
Well, I went to Savannah State, and we studied at Savannah State. We didn't engage
Okay.
in such behavior, but they are loving you, and they're telling you that you're a good mom. And again, we have to be we have to work in the network, and we have to, because our young people are really they're smarter than us. They quicker on their feet than we are.
Yes,
And
they
we
are.
have to stay connected.
Yeah, so put Life 360. Tell all of them to LoJack their children's phones.
Low jack. Well, I mean, but it's true. I mean, and I've seen that software. As a matter of fact, I will tell you this. I hate to say it, but because I'm gonna throw some people under the bus. But during my campaign last year, for most of the year, my campaign team had me on Life 360 because they wanted to always know where I was. And it was accurate, like to the block.
Right.
And when I was on the move, they were like, "Where you going?" And so Joanne LoJack was an old. It was a
someone doesn't know what LoJack is.
Right. Right. And LoJack was it used to be a product that they used to put on cars. So when your car was stolen, it was a GPS that said that your car, where your car was. Now you could do it on the cell phone. So I know husbands do it to wives do it for spouses, they do it for kids. And really the goal is that everybody knows where everybody is at all times. So if anything ever jumps off, you already know where it is. Linda says she always has Life 360 on her daughter.
And the other reason, not just for that, but if they get in an accident,
right.
If they get stopped by the police,
right.
There are just a variety of reasons why it's good. And it's not just because you're following them. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm not looking. But now if, curfew time has passed and they're not home, then of course, yes, I am looking. But just like I said, you may have a police encounter. You may not be able to get to the phone, but guess what? I'm going to be able to get to you.
Right. Wow. Yeah, my campaign team Priscilla and Molly and all of them are sitting here talking about the times they had me on Life 360. And I mean, it works. And I mean, you take advantage of that. I mean, again, if they are living with you, your young people, you have the right to me to always know exactly where they are. Because I hate to say it, but they'll lie to you.
I
And
know,
believe it
and
or not, I think the other issue is this, is that sometimes it helps establish some credibility if something goes down and they're saying they're in one place, but you know,
right,
so I
right,
think
right.
that's important as well.
Mhm. Yeah, so before I go, I just want to say that the Judge Burke, who recently retired from juvenile court, there were 3 things he always told parents that they should always know about their children. And that is where you are, who you're with, and when you're going to be home.
Right.
I mean, and I think if we start asking those questions routinely, I mean, I think that helps us know where they are, figure out that friend group and make sure that they're accountable with the curfew.
Right. Well, Felicia says that her daughter has 360 on her. Now, Felicia, now it's not right for your daughter to have it on you and you not to have it. You need to insist on some reciprocity here. But Diane McLeod, thank you so much. You have been a delightful guest, and we appreciate it because, again, I mean, parents just don't know. They just don't know, and we don't want them to be in a position where they're meeting you in the courtroom. And
No,
so we appreciate you giving them some great advice.
no. And if you see me in Walmart, I give advice in Walmart. Stop me. I'll talk to anybody. And I'm there all the time.
Stop you on Walmart
I'm
while
there.
you're over in the meat section, right?
Yeah, while I'm getting my dinner together, I get stopped all the time, and I don't have a problem with that.
All right, they're asking for the questions again. Where are you? Who are you
So,
with?
where are you?
Right.
Yeah, where you're going, where are you? Who you're with, and what time you're going to be home.
Right. I think those are good questions. So family, let us thank Assistant District Attorney Diane McLeod, and we want to appreciate you for coming on. And we're going to have you back. I want you to do an expanded presentation, and we'll, about juvenile law, because there's just a lot of stuff we don't know. So thank you for already saying yes.
Okay. All right, man. You have a great evening.
Thank you
Everyone,
so
have a
much.
good night.
All right. Good night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So great information for us tonight. Again, wanted to make sure that everybody knew, had the information. That is something that we don't necessarily all know about. And so it was actually good information. So we'll take a couple of questions, see where you all are at. If there are any questions, anything I can answer, and then we'll be gone. All right? Is there any questions, anything we got going on? But while we're talking about that, and we're winding up, let's remember that even Thursday is Thanksgiving. Now let's remember that every day is a day of Thanksgiving. We all have so much to be thankful for, even in the spite of what we've gone through. We can celebrate the fact that we've made it through, or we're making it through. Let us not lose sight of that. Let us teach our children to continue to be grateful and be thankful. Be thankful for life. Be thankful for, as the older folks used to say, hey, Garnett, good to see you, a reasonable portion of health and strength. Thanking for family and friends, and thankful for a place to live and food to eat. Some of these things, some of us take for granted, and we have found out during the last 9 months or so, you can't take these things for granted. Let us be thankful that we live in a country of laws, and that we're able to have elections, and we go through all of this, and yet in the midst of our disagreement, we're not out there fighting. That's right. The big issue is poverty, reducing poverty and decreasing shootings, and that is a multifaceted issue. And it's not only for the city of Savannah. Not only do you have to raise wages, you have to raise literacy and raise education as well. And to decrease shooting, you have to teach young people about how to make better decisions, because in the end, the gun does not shoot itself. I've had beefs with lots of people. I've fought lots of people. I've never pulled out a gun and shot somebody. So we need you, parents. We need you, family. We need you, folks. We need you to help us to be able to make better decisions for our young people. And yes, Ms. Brenda, yes, we will have that sit down. And Liza, thank you. Even if we disagree, families disagree. It's okay to disagree, but we respect each other's rights to be able to disagree. And I mean, that's what I like about Friday Night Live. I mean, for us, I mean, we're Democrats, we're Republicans, we're independents, we're libertarians, we're black, we're white, we're polka dot, we're heterosexual, we're straight, we're gay, we're transgender, we're all of these things. But more importantly, we are Savannahans, we are Georgians, we are Americans, and we are members of the human family. And that is what is most important. And so, Felicia, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you too, and I'm thankful to be able to serve, even in a time such as this. And I've asked myself sometimes, why me? Why now? You know, I spent 16 years to get to this point, and I get here, and now all of this happens. And I've just, learned to be grateful for things as they are, because they could be a whole lot worse. We are wishing all of you a happy, safe, and blessed Thanksgiving. We're hoping that you will do us a favor and that you will stay away from those you love if you don't live with them. If we need to get together on Thursday, do our Friday Night Live, we'll do that. Then let's do it. I mean, if y'all want to do it, I'll do it. Because I'm gonna be sitting at home, chilling, and again, I'm gonna love my family enough to stay away from them. But I'm thankful for all of you because I will tell you, admittedly, sometimes it gets rough. It gets rough. You deal with whether you're making the right decisions. You deal with criticism, sometimes from people who just want to criticize, and then sometimes from people who don't even understand the totality of the situations you face or the considerations of the decisions that you make. Yet they want to be able to criticize, and they do that. And I will tell you, you all have been such a blessing to me. I look forward to getting to Friday because I know on Friday we're going to be together. We're going to hang out, and my 1 hour is going to make things better for the whole week. And so this has always been a wonderful way for me to end my week. I appreciate it, and I just think you are awesome, and I want to appreciate it. Gina, you will not go to Betty's house to pick up a plate. You will not do that. We'll send it. We'll mail it over to you. So I'm letting you know that right now. So you will not be going to Betty's house. You're not welcome over there. Let's keep Miss Betty safe, okay? Let's keep her safe. But thank you all so much again. I appreciate you all. Again, let us find reasons to be. Bryce, thank you. Elena, thank you. Mary, thank you. Let's find ways. Okay, so y'all saying let's meet Thursday. So I mean, I'll go on Thursday and let's just see what y'all think. But let's see where we are. Somebody said something about a buy black event on Saturday the 28th. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. So it's very important. So we know that usually Black Friday is a week from today. Let us make an attempt as much as possible to buy local. Can we do that? Let's try very hard to buy local. Because the fact is, I know y'all buy Amazon and all that kind of stuff, but the fact is Amazon's money doesn't recirculate or recycle in the community. We need you to help us buy local, help us keep our local businesses in play. This is their busiest time of the year, so please help us. Joanne, I don't know why you're late, but I want y'all to buy local. if you can help us like that. Even if you don't do all of it local, during this week, let's make some purchases from some local stores, support some local merchants that supports that are small businesses that help to hire people who live in our communities. I need you all to do that. Let us buy local, and then maybe on Thanksgiving or maybe on Friday we'll have an opportunity to talk about the local places that we like. So let us do that. And Gina, stay away from Betty's house. I will call the police on you if you show up over there. Yes, Amazon stock is over $2,000, but they do not support local businesses. We need to support local businesses, Rebecca is saying 8:30 p.m. I mean, we could do a quick Thanksgiving check-in, but again, I appreciate you all. Mary says she has a local business. Mary, what's the name of your business? I saw that Mary said she had a local business. Mary Ann Pedro. Also, Stephanie has one called Calidad.store. So let's support some great local businesses. Okay. We need to do that. And Lori, we'll give you a police escort if you come here, Lori. But I'll check on the folks to make sure that they're all right. But anyway, we will definitely check. Alicia says productive and therapeutic massage. I might need that myself. Oh, Padro Fashions by MAP. Okay, MAP, Padro Fashion. All right, thank you as well. So yeah, why don't we do that? We'll get together. I'll let you know what time on Thanksgiving. We'll do a quick get together so that we're able to just check on people. We do recognize some people will be alone, and I think that's a good idea just for us. For those of you who want to be in, we'll just do a quick little check-in as well. So yeah, Angela says she needs a massage, so get in contact. And if I'm with Alicia, you can get your massage. I probably need one too. Yes. All right, I'll stay on for a minute. If you want to give your business link, if you're a local business, if you're a business in Savannah, you're a Friday Night Live participant, you want to drop it, your link and drop it in. Padro Fashions, go ahead and drop your link in right quick. Go ahead and drop it in. Alicia, drop your link in here. Rebecca has dropped hers in as well. Anybody else? All right, Alicia got hers in. And we'll leave these up so you can get a productive and therapeutic massage. I'm going to get one from you. I'm going to see how good you are. Maybe I might need to get one while I'm doing Friday Night Live. But anybody else have any businesses? Rebecca says RD Cruises Incorporated. When are we going to do some cruises? I mean, when the cruises, I'm waiting on a cruise. I need one. Tip Organizations INC. Angela, thank you for letting us know about that. Again, let's support our local businesses. Let's keep them in business, please. Of course, everybody knows Tamika the Grinder. Thank you, Marianne. Adrian has amazing, majestic jewels. So we thank her for that. Tamika McPherson is a realtor, and she will put you in a house. This is a good time. The market is hot. Chanel has network.com. Hey, Condolita has Condolita for Mary Kay. Molly, when it's over, I would love for us to do a Friday Night Live cruise for us to get together and do it. Yes. Mary has homemade bags. Anybody else? Thanksgiving meals. So that means that Debbie is not going to Augusta and Debbie can't cook. So is anybody cooking meals for Thanksgiving? Okay. Barbara says creatively Bardendale. Khadijah has a child care. Let's see. Y'all are welcome. So yeah, Leisha has Pure Romance. What is that? Wait a minute, hold up now. Alicia has pureromance.com. What is pureromance.com? Let me look. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this link right quick. Pure Romance. I'm looking. All right. Oh, this is like wellness, bath and shower. So you get a chance to go ahead and do that. I do need to let you know that I went to your page, but it didn't go to your page. It just went to a general page, Leisha. So you might want to get that checked out. It didn't go to your page. It went to another page. Oh, the Southern Palette. I had Southern Palette twice this week already, and everybody knows that she does a great job as well. Jeanette GE Network is there. Suspenseful Catering. Regina has Timeless Beauty. Mary Kay, and that's R Young 20565. Make sure these pages work. Suspenseful Flavors on Facebook. Barbara says she's cooking for immediate family, immediate household. Very good. And the turkey giveaways, yes. You're not going to the ship. Oh, Pure Romance is for women. Okay. All right. Well, then I guess I won't buy nothing there then. That's right. Gina is, I hate to say, but Gina is a successful business owner, and she has faith-based home accessories, and that is www.324spelledout.com. So you can check out Gina Toots as well. Dr. Erica Russell Petty is a very good pediatric doctor. She is one of the most caring individuals I know. She loves babies. So if you need a good pediatrician, Peds Play Health and Fitness for Kids. She is a pediatric doctor and a pediatrician, and she is an excellent doctor. So if you need a pediatrician, she's very good. Let's see. Oh, Leisha, it's intimacy and self-care. Now you telling me that now. My big brother Van Kennedy says, go to Slice Music Tracks. He can help you. Slice puts down the music. Leisha puts down the intimacy and self-care, and then you have something going on. Let's see. Again, Stephanie's posted hers. I did not know what Pure Romance was. I did not know. Let's see. Rhonda has Seaport Mobile Healthcare Training Unit. She does CPR and first aid classes. I need to get recertified. So Rhonda, I might be calling you. Navia does G-Spot Moscow, all your sea moss and gel needs. Do you eat it? Who is that for? And let's see. They still have Amway? Esteline has Amway.com. So you can check her out as well. Politics and Ebonics, I'm with you. Let's build. Let's see how we can help get these guys over that. I'm trying to buy guns back if I have to. I don't want them to be out there doing that. So again, we're going to support our local businesses. We need your help, and so I appreciate you. Let's support local. Let's have this money going good. And again, I appreciate you all. Wait a minute. Alicia says, book your appointment with you at the Butterfly Room. What's the Butterfly Room? Wait a minute. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on this link. Let me see what this link says. The Butterfly Room. The Butterfly Room. Alicia the Monarch, the Butterfly Room. All right. Let's see. Are you COVID free, Alicia? Let's see. Your specialties, shampoos and stuff. So Alicia does hair. Okay. So, Alicia, I don't know whether you can help your boy out, but I'll be willing to be helped if you want to help me. Let's see what else. I think that's so. We'll leave them up. Again, we appreciate you all. Check out these great. We have some great local businesses. Check them out. Go ahead and support them. If you want to help them, that is how you help them. You help them by helping to support their business. They're not asking for a handout. They're asking for you to support them, and they have the obligation to make sure. Alicia, thank you for taking the Savannah Safe Challenge. But we want you to do the right thing. So thank you all so much. I'm thankful for you. God bless you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I will see you on Thursday. I will post the time of our Thursday night Thanksgiving edition, and we'll make it through it. All right. Thank y'all so much. Have a great night. And every day is a day of Thanksgiving. Good night.